Hey, Shalom. We'll get started here in just a few moments.
That's how we're gonna be on you Edomites, man. You're gonna be a part of our release therapy. Let me get some frustration off. Let me vent real quick. And the word vent means to let out air. Let me give me a quick release. Let me fuck these Edomites up. Then I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. Man, that felt good. Let me enjoy the rest of my day.
You think when we're executing punishments on these guys, they're gonna be laughing and joking? No skinning of teeth when we get our hands on these devils. It's not gonna be a laughing thing. Let me ask you something. When you go on Live Leak, yeah, and Gore.com, and you see a man get caught up by a bagger man, and them man are really putting in work, you ever see them laugh? You ever see them laugh and giggle yet? Listen, when man are putting the blade to a man's throat, or putting the blade to a man's chest, or when man are get beat up real bad, broke up leg, broke up limb, when man are getting done up, I ain't never seen a man skin teeth and laugh in my entire life. I've never seen it. Beer lamentations. I've never seen a man laugh and giggle when he's getting the work.
Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Hey, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto my power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Hakodash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name in Hebrew is Yahweh. In his son's name, who the word is called Jesus Christ, real name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Also give it praises, honor, and glory to the Yahweh Hakodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes this edification possible. I want to say Shalom to all you sincere hearted Akim Wakwat, that you brothers and sisters make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. I also want to give double honors to my beloved apostle and elder, the great millstone, who taught me this truth and who ruled well. And I'm the brother Azamawaf here from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. Coming back this morning through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah to do another lesson. And Lord's will, this lesson will be found edifying unto the elect of the nation of Israel and glorifying unto the names of my power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And I want to get into the topic at hand. As you can read the title, it says, there can be no peace when the red horse is in power. All right, there can be no peace when the red horse is in power. And this lesson is coming off the heels of the so-called peace talk or peace deal, that went down this past Friday. And of course, it was a failure, as Trump and President, of Russia, Vladimir Putin, tried to have some type of negotiations, as it relates to the situation going on in Ukraine. And they left, with no, with no negotiations, with no peace, no peace deals made, but ultimately the reason why is because of prophecy. All right. We're not in the time of peace. We are in the time of war. As a matter of fact, we can open up with that here in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. And I got a few articles I want to go into. Won't be a long lesson at all. Just doing what Yahweh Bashim Shah commanded us to do, man, is to watch as well as to pray. Okay, we're commanded to stay up on our watch, look at everything going on. All right, from the MOTB system being set up, Revelation 13. Okay, talks of wars, rumors of wars. Okay, the current wars is going on, famines, earthquakes, all these particular things are pointing us, all right, to or all these things are leading unto the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah. All right, so this Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. As you can read the title, it says a time for everything. It says to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And I'm going to skip down here to verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. All right. So clearly we're in the time of war and not of peace. Why? Because Yahweh Shemal Shah. All right. Let's get this here in Revelation, the 6th chapter. All right. He has the red horse in power right now. Okay. Which the red horse and peace does not go together. Okay. So this is Revelation 6:3. The second seal. All right. Says, and when he had opened the second seal out, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red. All right. Horse symbolizes power. Okay. And red, that goes back to who? Edom. Okay. As Edom literally means red. All right. Out of Wam. All right. So, and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay. Because he's not white. He's so-called white. That's what he classifies himself. But he's technically red. Okay. According to the scriptures. And you just look at him. All right. For the majority of the part. All right. And as a matter of fact, let me grab this here in the book of Job 9:24, because it says power was given unto him. Job 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, Esau, Edom. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right, and you look at this man's track record. All right, okay, they thrive off of war. Okay, one of the Rothschilds, the Rothschild's mother has said, her name is Schnapper Rothschild. All right, she says, if my sons do not want war, there will be no war. You see, but the very fact that, okay, there's been nothing but war, okay, points this man out. I'm going to show you who he is. He's got to be that red horse. He's got to be the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. Revelation 6:3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. See, to take peace from the earth, not give it. Okay, not to have some type of diplomatic, okay, peace deals and treaties, and let bygones be bygones, and we just, we're all just in this one big, happy world. No, man. All right, that is not how this thing's gonna play out. All right, the Lord put this man in power to do this. To do this specifically, man, to take peace from the earth. All right, and that's going to lead him to World War III. Ultimately, it's going to lead him to the king of terrorists, Yahweh Shah. All right, and Yahweh Shah, he's going to be the one that's going to end all wars. Okay, he's going to wage the war, okay, to end all wars, which is the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right, 2nd Ezra 13. All right, Revelation 12. So Yahweh, as a matter of fact, Yahweh Shah, he's going to be, okay, the one that's going to end these wars, but it's going to come by violence. Let me grab this in Psalms. What is that? Psalms 46:9. Psalms chapter 46 and verse. Let's start right here, verse 7. Well, really, let's start at verse 6. It says, the heathen raged, and that's what's happening right now. The heathen are raging. Psalms the 2nd chapter. Okay, ultimately, because this thing is really spiritual, man. All right, because they know about the throne of David. They know about Yahweh Shah, okay, the Son of the Most High. And they know that their ass is about to be put right back into slavery underneath Yahweh Shah and the 144,000 of the nation of Israel. So this is why the heathen are raging. It says the heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah host is with us. The power of Jacob is our refuge, Selah, meaning think about that. All right. We have nothing to fear. That's why Yahweh Shah tells us, man, fear not. That Matthew the 24th chapter, he says, when you see these things, wars or rumors of wars, fear not. You see? Why? Because the power of Jacob is with us. Okay, starting first and foremost with the elect. All right, Lord's will, I'm part of that number. But verse 8, it says, come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. See? So he's going to be the one that's going to stop this war. All right, it ain't going to be Esau. It ain't going to be the red horse. Okay, the red horse and peace does not go together. All right, Yahweh Shah is going to come back to wage the war that ends all wars. All right, till Shiloh comes, because he's Solomon. Okay, Solomon. Okay, underneath Solomon's reign, okay, there's complete peace. But it took war to usher in that 40 years of peace for the nation of Israel. You see, this time it's going It's going to be everlasting peace. We ain't going to worry about no other nations trying to come up against us and wage war. All right. Because Yahweh Shah is going to lay down the law. He's going to put down all rule and authority. Psalms 110, it says, for his enemies shall be his footstool. So let's read this again. Psalms 46:9. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Yeah, you read about that in Ezekiel, the 39th chapter. Okay, it speaks about how, all these weapons are going to be burned up. All right, by, Yahweh Shemal Shai and the elect men. They're going to burn up these chariots. They're going to burn up these fighter jets and, destroy all of Esau's weaponry. They're going, that's, Isaac taking that sword away from him, man. You see? So let's go back here to Revelation 6 and verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And they should kill, says, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. See? So the very fact that this man is in power, okay, this red horse, Esau, Edom, all right, lets you know that all these so-called peace talks, okay, it's all smoke and mirrors, man. All right. And look at this man's track record. America's been at war for what? Over 98% of the time it's been in existence. All right. He thrives off of war. So I'm going to read this real quick. This is an article that was published, let's see, 3 days ago. So yeah, that was Friday. It says Trump says no deal reached with Putin as Alaska summit ends earlier than expected. Yeah, you damn right. Okay, there's going to be no peace deal reached. You see? Why? Because we just got it. We're not in the time of peace. We're in the time of war. Okay, and the red horse, he's in power. So there's going to be no peace. Let's grab this here in the book of Ezekiel 7:25. It says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. That's it, man. Destruction is coming mainly here for Babylon the Great. All right, as the Lord, let's get this, has devised his purposes against this place. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 11. It says, make bright the arrows. And what's those arrows? These ICBM missiles. It says, gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. Who's the king of the Medes? Okay, Russia. All right. Currently, Vladimir Putin. You see? And the Lord has raised up the spirits of the Medes, man. Okay, as he's put those hooks into his jaws, like it go into Ezekiel the 38th chapter. But what's the purpose? What's the purpose of the Lord doing this? It says, for his device is against Babylon. Where's Babylon? We're in it. If you're in America, okay, right here. America's Babylon, man. So all of this is leading up into ultimately Babylon getting involved, okay, and being destroyed. You see? And he's going to use the Medes, or today your modern day Russians, okay, to put an end to this place, bro. And that's Revelation 13:1. It speaks about how, okay, this beast system has the feet as a bear, even though the bear, Russia, is not a part, okay, of the beast, but the beast is going to be, taken out of the way. America, all right, is going to be taken out of the way, all right, by Russia. Isaiah the 13th chapter goes into the Medes taking down Babylon. So it says, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Now, real quick, I'm going to grab this in the NLT. It says in the NLT, sharpen the arrows, lift up the shields, for Yahweh Shemal Shah has inspired. He's inspired. When you get that word inspired, means to breathe into. This word inspired says of air or another substance that is breathed in. It says an extraordinary quality, as if arising from some external creative impulse. It's like, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second, Baba Kasha. I don't know who this is. just gonna have to wait. But yeah, it says of extraordinary quality, as if arising from some external creative impulse. You see, and that leads us to Proverbs 21:1. All right. Proverbs chapter 21:1, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Bashmal Shah. So like it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. So the Lord is working upon the minds of all these kings, man. Okay. As they sleep, all right, on their beds, all right, the Lord is sealing their instruction. You see? You know, wake up that morning, you get ready. Okay, for this press conference, you get ready for these peace deal talks. Okay, and nobody comes with a solution. Why? Because the Lord sealed your instructions. Okay, according to prophecy, you can do nothing against the truth before it. See, so let's go back here to Salaki. I was getting a phone call, kind of disturbed me here. It says, let's go back here to we'll read this article a little bit. It says, President Donald Trump said on Friday that the United States and Russia didn't get there on a deal regarding the war in Ukraine, even as he called his 3-hour meeting in Alaska with Russian Vladimir Putin extremely productive. It says the meeting, which Trump had billed as high stakes, ended earlier than expected and on a deflated note for the U.S., with no concrete steps reached toward a ceasefire and Trump cutting their joint press conference short. The two said they would meet again, possibly in Moscow. You see, and Trump had also said, let me type this in. Yeah, 4 days ago, Trump threatens very severe consequences if Russia doesn't agree to end the Ukraine war. You see, and more likely those consequences he's speaking of is, sanctions. More sanctions, which scriptures tells you here in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. Let's grab that real quick. Isaiah 13 and 17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, just like what we just read in Jeremiah 51 and 11. See, the Lord has inspired, the king of the Medes, Russia, to perform his purposes to destroy Babylon. See, so everything has to fall in line with prophecy, man. You can't frustrate prophecy. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. See, so, these so-called consequences that Trump is, talking about, there's no agreement made. Russia, they're not going to care because the Lord inspired them, all right, not to care. You see? And also, you got this here. Off of RT News, Zelensky and European leaders head to Washington to talk talks with Trump. Salakia. All right. And they're supposed to be meeting today. It says the visit on Monday comes after Trump's summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. And I'll read a little bit of this. It says Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky and several Western European leaders are due in Washington on Monday for talks with U.S. President Donald Trump. All right. And this is the first time, that, you got all these European leaders, along with
face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
there will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that video was going to play. As a matter of fact, we might as well play it. Yeah, let's see what he say.
Face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
there will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
He says he doesn't have to say what type of consequence. He says they're going to be very severe. You see? And, also, by the way, another reason why, all this peace talk and shit is just all smoke and mirrors, because at this point, too much has been said, too much has been done, too much, money has been invested. I mean, we talking trillions of dollars at this point has been invested, to fund this war. So, a simple ass little peace talk. Come on, bro. That ain't gonna do nothing. Too much has been said and done, So like we've been saying, bro, we at the point of no return. All right. We're there at the point of no return. All right. Esau's the end. Jacob is the beginning. All right. So we need this to happen. All right. And once again, it's just all smoke and mirrors. Esau, he has to put on that front, to act as if he's going to deal diplomatically. All right, but it never works. As a matter of fact, I typed this in the chat GPT, and we're going to go back to that article here at RT in a second. But I had typed this in. Most times, whenever America has peace talks with other nations, shortly after there is war. And it says that's a very insightful observation. Historically, many U.S.-led or U.S.-involved peace talks have been followed, sometimes months or years later, by renewed conflict. Why? Because he's the red horse. That's why, man. Peace and the red horse does not go together. It's like oil and water. It says this pattern has several explanations. It says, number one, peace talks often happen at high tension points, and that we're at a very, high tension point right now. This is a very critical point, all right, in history. It says nations usually come to the table only when conflict is either ongoing or very close. That means peace talks often take place in volatile situations. If the talks fail or only produce fragile agreements, war can erupt soon after. You see? So you think this war is already bad with tens of thousands of, Ukrainian soldiers losing their lives every day. We just wait. Okay? It's about to be more. And soon that draft is going to come. It says, so Esau, he's got a lot he's juggling, bro. He's juggling AI. Okay, he's juggling trying to clean up the country, getting rid of homeless, and he's juggling building all these detention facilities. He's juggling, cryptocurrency. The Lord got this nigga up against the ropes. As a matter of fact, this is Job 18. All right, Esau is doing a lot. He's slipping and sliding all over the place, man. Let me get that real quick. Psalm 73. We're gonna get that Job. So, hey, the Wadi al-Bashmal Shah, man. All right, Esau's tacky as hell, but he doesn't have a choice but to be. All right, this is where your pride leads you, man. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 18 in the NLT. Let's start at verse 17. Well, let's start at verse 16. He says in the NLT, so I tried to understand why the wicked prosper, but what a difficult task it is. Then I went into your sanctuary, O Yahweh Bashmal Shah, and I finally understood the destiny of the wicked. And how do we finally understand that? By prophecy. Verse 18, truly, you put them on a slippery path and send them sliding over the cliff to destruction. That's it, man. And Esau is slipping and sliding all over the place, man. Look at everything he's trying to do as he's on his way out. He's juggling all this shit, man. As we just stated earlier, AI, World War III, digital surveillance, it's a tongue twister, but y'all catch the drift. I mean, y'all see, we report on these things all day, every day, man. All these different, enterprises that Esau got going on. It's just too much. It's too much, man. It's Job 18 and verse 7 in the NLT. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall. That's it. So Esau, he can't, strut himself proudly throughout the earth like he once used to. He still does, but all right, the Lord, he's straightening his pride. He's shortening it. All right, Esau, he's got to really consider, all right, his movements, the way he moves, because One false movement, bro. That's it. And that's what's going to happen, man. And his pride is going to lead him to that. His pride is going to lead him to his downfall, man. So let's read that again. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. All right. The Lord's got this nigga walking on the tightrope, man. All right. Little margin for error. But yeah, at the same time, you're juggling all these things. Like, you got to envision it. A clown on a goddamn unicycle, on a tightrope. All right. He's juggling, 20 different objects, man. It's just a matter of time till that nigga go bye-bye till he falls, man. So that's Esau right now. All right. So where are we at? Oh yeah, ChatGPT. It says number 2, temporary agreements. It says many peace talks end with ceasefires or partial treaties rather than full solutions. These band-aid solutions may stop fighting for a moment, but don't solve the deeper political, ethnic, or territorial dispute. See, this is just all band-aid solutions, man. Okay, a band-aid on a fucking, double gauge, double barrel shotgun, wound. It's not going, you're going to bleed out. This place is bleeding out, man. You see, you can't patch this shit up. What is that, Jeremiah, the 51st chapter? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. You see, because all this directly affects, America. You see, it's bigger than Ukraine. And then you got to take in consideration, what the state of Israel is doing right now, as they just announced, a full-fledged, takeover on Gaza. All right, they doing it. So that's another thing Esau's got to juggle. So this place is absolutely done, man. Number 3, strategic use of talks. It says sometimes peace talks are used as stalling tactics. See, Esau's stalling, trying to kick the can further down the road. All right. He's stalling it when it comes to his economy. All right. Like, he wants to make the move, go ahead and make everything digital. But at the same time, he's stalling with that. So they raise inflation. I mean, so like they cut inflation, what was that? No, they cut the interest rates. All right, to try to stall the inflation. These are all stalling tactics, but as we're speaking about right now, these peace talks, all right, that's a stalling tactic. It says, while appearing diplomatic, one side may secretly prepare militarily. See, and that's what's happening. So that's pretty much in a nutshell, okay, what this whole peace deal or this peace talk, was all about. This is really a stalling tactic. All right, so that can give both sides, more time they could borrow, all right, to prepare themselves. And that's what prophecy says that these heathen are doing. Joel, the 3rd chapter, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles and prepare war. So this had nothing to do with peace, all right? Because once again, this devil's fruits, all right, his works, all right, is a testament to that. They never, Esau has never been an advocate for peace. He's the red horse. So this is just basically him, just stalling to get more time to prepare even more. So number 4, great power interests. The U.S. may push for peace talks that serve its strategic or economic interests, but local realities often undercut these. See? It says, in history, peace talks rarely end all conflict. They often reset the stage for the next phase of struggle. See? And that's exactly what prophecy says too. All right. For greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall be done. All right. So it's about to be the next phase, all right, of this war, man. Which very soon things are about to get nuclear. It's about to get hot. And it's not going to be just excluded to that side of the world, to the Ukraine side. No, man. Very soon, the virgin daughter of Babylon is going to be touched. It's not going to be a virgin anymore. This place is about to be touched, man. And scripture say in Isaiah 47, in a moment shall these things come upon thee. Isaiah 47:9. It says, but these 2 things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. That's it, man. So in a moment, all right, and it's only going to take 1 hour, okay, to destroy America. Babylon the Great. So that's where all this is leading up into. Like I said, you know, it's bigger than Ukraine. All right, and you know, with some of these European leaders meeting in Washington today, this is more testament that, you know, the beast is divided. The beast hates the whore, man. All right, because they're pretty much there to support, you know, Vladimir Zelensky, you know, the leader of Ukraine. And they feel some type of way about this, so much to the point to where now they feel like they got to step in and intervene because they don't feel like America's doing enough. So this is just further, you know, escalating, you know, that breach, you know, that's already, you know, there amongst, you know, America and the European Union. And that's going to lead to Revelation 17 and 15. The beast shall hate the whore and burn her flesh with fire. So, man, we here, bro. All right. We are absolutely here. So let me get this real quick. There's another article. Yep, you can see this. This is actually breaking news. It was put up a few hours ago, August 18th. It says Ukraine strikes key oil pipeline to EU. All right. It says Russian oil supply to Hungary has been halted after Ukraine targeted the key Druzhba pipeline system, the Hungarian foreign minister Peter has says. See? So yeah, it ain't gonna be no peace, bro. Okay, with Ukraine just doing this, just striking, you know, Russia's oil supply to Hungary, and this is one of the world's largest. As a matter of fact, I'll read this. It says Druzhba is one of the world's longest networks transporting crude oil some 4,000 kilometers from Russia and Kazakhstan to refineries in the Czech Republic, Germany, Hungary, Poland, and Slovakia. You see? So once again, like the title of the lesson says, there can be no peace when the real horse is in power, man. All right, and the Lord got this devil. All right, he got his backs up against the ropes. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get into. You know, like I said, it wasn't gonna be a long lesson at all. I'll get a few scriptures here off the comment board and for water Akim, right, for the precepts. Let's see here. Yep. Let's get this. The brother G.M.S. Tazadot put up Proverbs 16 and 4. It says, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, man. See? So Esau, he was created, all right, to do exactly what he's doing right now, man. All right, it's to bring in hell and death upon the earth, to be that red horse, to be the black horse, to be the pale horse. All right. It's nothing but death. See? Has nothing to do with peace involved. Peace is going to come when Shiloh comes, man, when Yahweh Shah comes back. All right, Solomon, the greater Solomon. That's when peace is going to come. All right. Yep, get this. Brother put up Psalms 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. That's it right there. All right. And that's exactly how Esau's always gotten down, man. Promising peace. Okay. You know, appearing to be diplomatic. Okay. Just for, you know, days or weeks or months to go by. All right. He stabs you in the back and he commences and wages, you know, complete, you know, total war against you, man, against your country. All right. So, yep, that's the point. Hey, the water for all these precepts. We're going to leave it right there. So, yeah, like the title lesson says again, there can be no peace when the real horse is in power. All right. So, until next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. And give double honor to my beloved apostle. That was a great millstone. Mu'afla Babal. Shalom.